Hello. I'm Ashley Harwood, the founder and CEO of Move Over Extroverts, a coaching and training company for introverted real estate agents. And today I'm going to give you 3 scripts that don't suck. If you've been in this business for any length of time, you've probably heard a lot of scripts, and some of them are great, some are okay, some are terrible. And the biggest challenge I see with the agents I coach is that they say the scripts don't sound like me. They're not easy to incorporate into my language pattern and they sound fake. And yes, that's true for some of them. Others you can tweak and make your own. But aside from all of that, I want to share 3 scripts that I love that are very easy and they don't sound icky, they don't suck, they're very personable to use. So let's jump in. The first one you want to use with someone who's a new acquaintance, someone you just met, you don't know them well. Do not use the script with your friends and family because it'll sound really weird, okay? The script is, what do you do for work? That's it. That's the whole script. Ask them what they do for work. They will answer. You ask them some follow-up questions, express your interest, and then at some point, they're going to ask you, what do you do for work? And then you can start talking about real estate. So when you're in a conversation with someone, you're getting to know someone in a more casual setting, this is a great script to use because, of course, you're going to want to talk about real estate, but you don't want to just vomit real estate on people because that's obnoxious. And then they'll run to the other side of the room and avoid you for the rest of the day. We don't want that. So asking them, what do they do for work? Showing an interest, ask some follow-up questions, and then wait for them to reciprocate. All right, so that's script 1. What do you do for work? Script 2 is telling stories. So these can vary. If you don't have your own stories yet, if you haven't been in the business long enough to have your own funny buyer or seller stories or something funny you saw at a house, at a showing or an open house, if you don't have your own yet, you can use other people's stories. And there are a lot of Facebook groups out there. You can come to my Facebook group, Introverts in Real Estate. Labco Agents is a great one. There's another group called Real Estate Mastermind. These groups have thousands of people, and sometimes they tell very funny stories about things happening in their business. So if you don't have your own, go to one of those groups, search through the posts and comments, and find some funny anecdotes to be able to just remember. And the way you set it up, if it's not your own, you just say, I heard this crazy story of something that happened to one of my agent friends, one of my colleagues, whatever. It's ideal if you have your own story though. So think about how you can turn your everyday experiences in real estate into an interesting anecdote. People love talking about real estate. There's an entire channel dedicated to real estate, probably more than one at this point. I'm thinking of HGTV. There's probably all these offshoots. I don't know. I hate those channels. I don't watch them, but they do exist for a reason. People love talking about real estate, the market, houses, the transactions, all of it. So finding a couple interesting anecdotes to tell people in conversation is a very nice, subtle way to remind people you're in the business without being annoying. So that's a great script. I'm calling it a script, even though it's not specific words, because you'll know how to tell a story. I'll give you an example. So one of my good friends in the business one time sold a house. You guys might have heard this story from me before if you've taken my classes. It's my favorite funny real estate story. So my friend was selling a house. He was representing the buyer. And it was in kind of a rural area in Massachusetts. There was a chicken coop on the property with several chickens. And at one point, after purchase and sale, but before closing, one of the chickens died. And so he comes in the office all flustered. He goes, "How much is the chicken worth? How much does the chicken cost?" We're like, "I don't know." Like at the store, they're like 10 bucks. I don't know how much like an alive one costs. And he had to find out. They had to agree, they had to change the terms of the purchase and sale agreement because it was not a side deal. It was in the sales contract. So the attorneys had to redo the numbers and calculate how much the value of a chicken is. So that's just so like weird and funny and a story I will never forget. So look for stories like that in your own business, in your office, or on Facebook, and tell them in your conversations with people. All right, that's script 2. Script 3 is, oh my God, I just forgot it. Oh, I know. Okay. Ask a person, this is good for business owner. Okay. You're talking to another person who is in business for themselves, some kind of entrepreneur. Ask them who you can introduce them to. Say, I would love to help you grow your business. How can I help you? Who can I introduce you to? I have a very large network. Who would be helpful for you to know? And see what they say, and then see if you can introduce them to somebody. It's a good way to help other business owners, and they might ask you the same question. So if you're going to go down that road, have an answer prepared. All right. So those are your 3 scripts. What do you do for work? Tell some funny stories and ask who you can introduce them to. Hopefully this was helpful. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I will catch you guys next time.